Clinical trials are a crucial tool in advancing breast cancer research. Sometimes they can mean new hope, longer life, and better quality of life. But what are you facing if you agree to participate? Well, here now, we explore the journey of Heather Furr, who's just finished a promising clinical trial for her advanced breast cancer.
When I got into the ER, they couldn't believe what they saw, and he said, "You need to get some serious medical intervention."
1 year ago, it was looking like Heather Furr's time was running out.
She was pretty much on her deathbed. At that point, once it started sinking in and I realized that I could potentially lose my wife and my best friend, it wasn't too much further after that where I realized that as tough as that is, my son was going to lose his mom.
Heather was used to fighting. This avid kickboxer was incredibly active with her husband John and young son Mitchell, running, biking, diving. But her second bout with breast cancer in just 2 years looked to be a losing battle.
I was scared. I didn't know how long I would be here. I felt like there has to be something better.
All standard care, chemotherapy, radiation, even holistic medicine wasn't working for her. That's when her doctor recommended pursuing clinical trials, a decision she had originally dismissed.
And I decided a week before I was to have an appointment with them that I wasn't going to go because I wasn't going to be a guinea pig. I wasn't going to be a number.
I think it's the fear of the unknown. I think that also goes with cancer in general.
Dr. Jennifer Litton says many breast cancer patients opt out of clinical trials because of common misconceptions.
And I think one of the biggest misconceptions that I hear from patients is that they think clinical trials are only when you have nothing else to offer. That's absolutely not the case. The other thing I hear is, well, I don't want to be a guinea pig. I don't want to get a sugar pill.
And you're not going to get that placebo. You're either going to get standard of care or you're going to get the new experimental treatment. So rest assured that you are going to get treatment and you will be monitored very closely.
Clinical trials are research studies that determine if a treatment not yet approved by the FDA should be allowed as part of the standard care for all patients.
Clinical trials are absolutely key. The way that we test a new treatment, the safety of it, the effectiveness of it is through clinical trials. So the next latest and greatest treatment for advanced breast cancer will come from a clinical trial.
There are many resources to help patients find out if they qualify for any of the hundreds of ongoing clinical trials, including a free matching service offered by the American Cancer Society.
We really provide that sort of comprehensive education around what is a trial, when is it appropriate, and how can we help find the right trial for you.
Dr. Litton oversees a clinical trial that fits Heather's situation, a medicine called a PARP inhibitor that is designed to help women with the BRCA gene like Heather.
6 weeks later, with those tumors gone, I saw in her a light. It was like she now had hope and she could see that there was potentially a path to a continued life with her family versus not really having a chance to continue that much longer.
A year later, Heather is back to her active lifestyle and not just feeling better, but feeling better about participating in something that could help others.
I feel like it did give me purpose that I can be a small part of the puzzle. I don't need to be a big part, just a small part to be on this particular drug that could potentially help other women to not have to go through the hardships of what I went through.
I've never been more excited with the amount of therapies that we are looking at combining. Not every trial works as quickly or as well as Heather, but certainly when we see this and we see a patient like Heather, it really spurs us to keep going and to keep looking.
I think without the clinical trials, it's a very real possibility that I wouldn't necessarily be here. And when I look at my son, I need to be here for him.
I'm so proud of you.
Because I'm my son's mom. And I want to raise him and I want to be here for him. And so my job's not done. I'm not done. And that's what drives me every day.